My dad and I are in a race to win the Bundesliga with a team from East Germany. However, we started the challenge from the third tier, and we have to do this before RB Leipzig do. Because with them also being from East Germany, we can't afford to let them win the race to the Bundesliga trophy. The recent cup final between Dad and I seemed to have rocked him after seeing me lift the trophy. Because his tactical switch has caused his side a lot more trouble than I'm guessing he was expecting, finishing down in 11th place after finishing 5th the previous season. Which could obviously affect him attracting new players, as his first target of the summer rejects coming to Dresden. And with him already committing to sell his current number one, he heads to the shortlist for his backup option in Yaki Pena, who is currently at Bologna. I start the summer by signing Kai Rooney, Wayne Rooney's son, who needs a bit of development if he is to make the first team. I decided to spend a large chunk of my budget on Vinicius Tobias at right back. He's at Shakhtar Donetsk right now and is an instant upgrade. And that allows me to sell my current right back Van Uwijk for roughly the same price than a player that I got on a free transfer. I also target Sané from Porto, who although is a natural right wing back, I am planning to use more of a defensive winger. A left-sided centre back is something I had in mind also, and getting Valentini certainly fits that description for £5 billion. But it's back to Dad's Dresden side, as he is finally welcoming some new signings to the club, starting with Monchu on a free transfer. The transfers out of James Justin has increased his budget more, and he's currently sat on nearly £40 million, of course, with the transfer of Pena still pending. Which eventually he does get over the line for a rough £15 million, and that is a good signing for Dad. I am also spending £15 million bringing in Gabriel Silva from Sporting, who is an excellent striker and only 22 years old. But a quick flurry of transfers as Dad picks up himself a new centre midfielder, a cracking defender in Perez from Atalanta, as well as a right back from Rennes for £15 million. He's then left really frustrated having to search for another midfielder after Frankfurt stole his thanks to a very low minimum fee release clause, which I am also guilty of overseeing, as they did exactly the same for me with my left back this summer. The midfielder that Dad was targeting though wanted silly money, and there's no way he could afford those wages. And so he eventually pivoted and went for Emil Breivik instead for £7.5 million out of Norway. My left back replacement certainly wasn't as good as the one I lost, but it was the only one that I could afford. But the start of our 7th season was underway as Dad was picking up a nice 2-0 win at Augsburg, using another new system where he's dropped the striker Bielik into a shallow striker role instead this season, instead of going for a 3 up front. I was also enjoying a cracking start to the season away from home as we beat Cologne 5-1 and Ryan Don Nadiri picked himself up a hat-trick. In fact, in the first 3 games of the season, the target forward, playing in a more central role now, scored 5 times in the league. Dad was unfortunate to drop points against Mainz in the last minute, but both of us can be really happy with how our campaigns have begun. Right, Frankfurt caused us a bit of trouble, didn't they?
Oh, God almighty. Didn't they
Activating
just
release clauses.
Yeah, he was one of my best midfield players as well. He was the one player I really didn't want to lose because he's in a vital position for me.
What, everywhere?
Yeah. No, in that attacking midfield role.
Yeah.
Advanced player. He was my main player for that position. So, yeah, I was a bit disappointed losing him. So
They did exactly the same thing to me.
Yeah.
They stole Lovic for £7.5 million, my left back. He was the starting left back for me, so...
I think I'm worried about, really, I mean, it's done it the same to you. Like you say, it's just weakened our squads.
Yeah, because the player I replaced him with isn't as good. He's okay,
yeah,
but nowhere near the standard of what the guy that I lost was, unfortunately. But I did manage to get Kai Rooney, so...
Yeah, you never know. He could turn
into... He's in my under-90s now. I'm not playing him right now, but you never know. He might be all right.
Well, Wayne's definitely got enough time to come over and watch him, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he ain't doing anything right now. He's twiddling his thumbs. But a couple of players that I did bring in that I'm kind of happy with. Gabriel Silva, I think, gives me another really good striking option there. Young as well, so he's got time to develop a little bit more. Already has to beat the offside trap, which is a player trait that I really like.
Yeah.
Vinicius Tobias as well is a decent right back who can play all the way up the 3 that I'm using right now. So
good
that's,
buy for you then.
good.
Clever buy.
Yeah. Because I lost Lazaro on a free, which I didn't mind too much because I knew I had enough, because I also brought in Sané, who again does exactly the same role. Plus, I already had 2 players that have actually kind of gone into the role. So this is my best 11 pick, and it's 2 players I didn't expect to see in the roles that they're in. Gomez on the right, and Mayen in that defensive winger.
I must admit, when I seen your team, I was surprised he dropped down to that position.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that Silva plays more than Nava at the minute. I think Nava had an okay season. It's just his pace worries me, that he won't score enough goals, because then it means I've got 2 players who aren't as fast, whereas if Gabriel Silva's there, it's kind of like the Crouch and Defoe style of strike force.
And it's definitely started well. I mean, we've seen how great the season has been for us at the start. 5-1, 3-2, 4-2. I haven't played anybody amazing yet.
Still got the 3 points in the bag, though, innit, for every game?
That's it, yeah. But you're up there as well, if we're looking at schedule. I mean, you won your cup game 8-0. Only dropping points there to Mines, which was a 94th minute.
Yeah.
You're also
they
3-0 up.
I'm going to say they scored 3 late goals, so that's a really bad draw.
Yeah.
If you look at it that way.
At home as well.
Yeah, I don't like doing that at home.
But if we're looking at your transfer window in general, Dad, you've brought in some really good players.
Yeah, I mean, the first one...
The keeper's good.
Yeah. I actually really, he wasn't that good, didn't he? But I think the freebie guys, did I get him this season? I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's the guy that replaces the one I lost to Frankfurt, really.
Yeah.
So I've done well, really, because I lost that guy for some money, but I got this guy in for a freebie, so
yeah,
that's quite good, really. I was quite pleased with that.
Dylan Levitt as well, he was looking for a club.
Yeah, I mean,
as an extra,
and he was a freebie as well. Yeah, I just got to the stage where I think I just get a couple of more players in just to strengthen the squad, really.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to get in with my first team because of the other players, so yeah, and I bought the guy from Rennes as well, just to strengthen the guy.
Yeah. Timothy Pembele.
He said to me, he said, I'll come to your team, mate. He said, as long as I can play against your dad's team. I said, you're in.
Yeah. Your dad's team, your son's team.
Oh, your son's team's alright, yeah.
I like your dad. Yeah, I think you've had a decent window.
I'm pleased with it.
Centre back, actually, we didn't highlight him. Centre back's a really good signing.
He was a good signing, yeah. I mean, he's 29, so well experienced, yeah, really good. Just strengthen the defence up. So I was pleased to get him, to be honest with you. I mean, I feel that I've definitely strengthened my squad up.
Yeah. Switch obviously from the 3 up front.
Yeah, I had to really, didn't I? But I didn't want... When I've done the best 11, this guy here I'm going to lock in, he was my leading goal scorer for the last 2 seasons, I believe, and he won in the team, so
yeah,
I just wanted to make position for it. And I noticed he can play that position, the... what is it? The
centre attack midfielder.
No, the shadow striker, innit?
Yeah.
I noticed he played that, so I just took him with training in that position, trained him a bit more to make him better in that position. But I wanted to keep him in the team, really, because he scores goals.
He's got 81 goals for Dresden, in a Dresden shirt.
So I wanted to make sure he was in my team still.
Yeah, you're 5th place in the league, obviously, after that start. So we're
I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, we're having a good start there. I'm on 9 points, same as Leipzig, same as Leverkusen. You don't have European football, Dad. I do. Let's look at my European fixtures and see what I've got in front of me right now. Lyon's up there, AZ Alkmaar, Lazio away. Should still qualify.
Yeah.
Should still go through.
I think you've got enough in the middle that you can win comfortably to get you through.
Absolutely. Right, well, let's see. Currently on top of the league. Will it stay that way when we get towards the end of the season as we race to the Bundesliga? Well, unfortunately for Dad, the trip to Leipzig wasn't a good one as he lost 1-0 to an early goal. The game I played before facing Dad was my first in Europe and it was a 4-0 win away to Lyon. So you just knew that when it came round to facing Dad in the following fixture, the result would be the complete opposite to what our form suggests. And although we did manage to get back into the game through a very lucky goal at 2-1 down, Dad secured the win 2 minutes later with a third. But that has meant that Leipzig are now top of the league with a game in hand after winning all 5 games of the season. First match in October and I was taking another battering at the hands of Borussia Dortmund, this time 5-0. We started to finally string a run of wins together as the game against top of the league Leipzig approached. Meanwhile, after beating me, Dad only managed 1 league win in the next 2 months before Leipzig then dumped him out of the cup in the 3rd round. So on behalf of both of us, I was hoping to give Leipzig a hammering when they came to Rostock. However, I couldn't have done any worse and they beat me comfortably 3-0. It was actually the other teams in the league that were giving RB Leipzig a hard time and beating them for us and doing us a massive favour. Possibly too good of a favour if you are Dad, because not only am I top in the Europa League, I'm currently first in the Bundesliga because of Leipzig's bad form recently, while Dad sits down in 7th. A loss and a draw later, and it's Dortmund who are now leading the pack, as the top 5 are split by just 4 points in this exciting title race. And if Dad keeps up his January form going, there's nothing to say he can't join this title race too. February though was a tough month for Dad as he's facing both me and Leipzig, who he manages to get a draw against. Unfortunately for him, in the following match though, I defeated his Dresden side 2-0, and those are the 5 points he can't really afford to drop. I also though dropped 5 points with a draw to Frankfurt and a loss to Leverkusen, although I did defeat Dortmund in March, and that's put me level on points with Bayern, who have a far superior goal difference. I threw away such a good lead against Galatasaray in the Europa League first leg after conceding 2 late goals in the second, then another in extra time to be eliminated. But my league form has been perfect, and I'm sat at the top of the league by 3 points above Bayern Munich and Leipzig, who I have to play at the end of April and the beginning of May. What wasn't in the script was a loss to Bochum though, 3-1, which followed by a draw against Leipzig, and we're once again off the top of the league. And with just 3 games left, Bayern Munich have jumped into the driving seat again, 2 points clear. We kept up hope though with a 2-0 win against Hoffenheim, while Bayern Munich was beating RB Leipzig, which thankfully takes them out of the title race completely this season, and it's time to face the champions ourselves. And a cagey first half where we managed to take the lead through the league's current top scorer Nadiri in the only goal in the first half. But 10 minutes into the second half and Bayern Munich are pulling themselves level, which is to keep them top. It wasn't long before we claimed the lead again thanks to a rebound scramble, but yet again we failed to hold on to our lead, as in the 86th minute, Matisse Tell found the ball at the back post and crept in a leveller. But as the clock ticked past 90 minutes, we had to keep pressing on and believing, and with the ball down the left-hand side, another throw-in, and Jonathan Tah slammed through the back of Nova, and the referee is being surrounded as the verdict comes through from the VAR that it is a penalty. And a penalty that Tobias smashed in to give us the 3 points. On the final day of the season, Bayern Munich won comfortably though 5-0, which meant we had to win also to lift the title, as a draw would not be enough. But stepping up in a Hansa Rostock shirt after 18 minutes was the Youth Academy graduate, Yannick Mein, to open the scoring. Nadiri then managed to bag yet another goal this season, claiming the golden boot, while new signing Gabriel Silva capped off what was a perfect day with a goal and, of course, the Bundesliga trophy. Challenge completed.
I mean, I've got to say it, well done. I didn't think one of us would do it this quick.
No.
And if I'm going to be perfectly honestly, I didn't think your team was good enough to win the league, especially the tactic you was playing. It just goes to show. You come up with the right tactic with the right players, that's what happens.
Yeah. And luck as well. We cannot deny that I was very lucky. Towards the end of the season there, a 91st minute penalty against Bayern Munich has won me basically the league. Because at that point, I was in second place.
Yeah.
They are only a point behind me. I beat them twice in the league, home and away. And at that point, they were above me. I was going into that game, second position, beat them to go top.
Consistency in it. I mean, you were there or thereabouts most of the season. Look.
Yeah.
You had a couple of little dips, and then you got yourself right into there. So, yeah.
Every now and then, Leipzig was top at the beginning.
If you're going to beat them, the last minute is the best time to beat them, and the last game of the season, or second to last game, is a good time to beat them as well.
Then it was very much twitchy bum time against Gladbach, but within 19 minutes, we were all good.
If that had been me, I always lose against them.
Yeah.
They're my bogey side in the German league, they are. So, well done.
Yeah, cannot deny that. And if we think about it, I mean, again, the Golden Boot winner.
It's got to be one striker again, isn't it?
Ryan Nadiri. I mean, I have never heard of him before this challenge. He used to play for Dresden. He came through the Dresden Youth Academy, which makes it even more hilarious.
I'm just glad I wasn't around when he went to you.
Yeah, but if you remember correctly, in that first season, we bumped him up because I didn't have a striker. He scored 27 goals. He had some bad times as well. 6 goals in just the first 2 Bundesliga seasons.
When you look at that, 27 goals. That was his equal best season for you. Oh no, he had a 30
the
there.
season before. But
yeah,
so he has been unbelievable.
And that like you say, you need that little bit of luck.
Yeah.
You get a kid like that come through and he bangs goals in for you. You're scoring goals. You're always going to win games.
He has been the hero of the save for me, for sure. I mean, I do really think I have a good team. I don't think I have a great team by any means. Like, this team has been okay, but I don't look at that and go, I should be challenging for the title.
No, that's not a title winning side, is it? I mean, just for curiosity, just go on the Bayern Munich side.
Yes.
And just see what players they have got in there.
Yeah. Didier Deschamps is the manager, by the way. If we're looking at Nelson Viper,
he's a really good world-class striker.
So
we'd all like him in a team.
I mean, he's a Spurs player.
Oh, he's a hell of a player, he is.
But he looks great on here. Musiala. I mean, look at that.
No, they're all 5 stars virtually, aren't they?
Yeah. Musiala's. I mean, Kim Min-jae from Meccano. Diogo Costa's in goal.
Best keeper on this game, I reckon.
Their bench would get into my starting 11. All of them. Every single one would get into my starting 11. But, hey,
Well done.
Challenge complete.
I can't believe you've done it this quick.
Neither can I.
I
can I.
I honestly felt we had another at least
3 seasons?
3 out of 4 seasons before we started challenging, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, because at one point, Bayern Munich was running away with it.
Yeah. They were only like 10 points clear, aren't they?
Yeah.
You think, well, you're not going to get that close to them.
So,
You beat them because they're always good at the end of the season, I always find. They always come through at the death, don't they?
yeah.
And you beat them at the death and you beat them by the point. Well done.
But there we have it.
Challenge done.
Complete. The race to the Bundesliga. And it's Hansa Rostock. The very first, before RB Leipzig, the very first East German side to lift the Bundesliga since the formation of Germany again in 1990. Fun challenge, though.
Oh, brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
So where do we go next? Do we keep racing to different leagues or do we try a different challenge? Well, you're going to have to make sure you are subscribed to find out when that eventually drops. And of course, keep your suggestions coming in the comments section. And if you're wondering what to watch right now, I took on a youth to goal challenge with a team from the 4th tier of Scotland. I absolutely hated it.